Hey, good morning. Today's Bible study comes from Mark, the first chapter, 29th through the 34th verse, and it reads as follows. As soon as they left the synagogue, they went with James and John to the home of Simon and Andrew. Simon's mother-in-law was in bed with a fever, and they immediately told Jesus about her. So he went to her, took her hand, and helped her up. The fever left her, and she began to wait on them. That evening after sunset, the people brought to Jesus all the sick and demon possessed. The whole town gathered at the door, and Jesus healed many who had various diseases. He also drove out many demons, but he would not let the demons speak because they knew who he was. Amen. This speaks to Jesus' healing power, but sometimes we overlook exactly what went on here in just a little bit. It says, as soon as they left the synagogue, as soon as Jesus got done preaching, he went with James and John, who he had picked up, and he went to the home of Simon and Andrew. Simon, is Peter. Simon's mother-in-law was in bed with a fever. She was sick, and they immediately told Jesus about her. So he went to her, took her hand, and helped her up. Ooh, he didn't say any words. He didn't do any hocus pocus. He didn't have oil. It just says so. He went to her and took her hand and helped her up. The fever left her, and she began to wait on them. Jesus just helped her to her feet, and his power healed her. The fever left her. And what did she do when the fever left? She began to wait on them. When Jesus calls you to help him, when Jesus lifts you up, your next job is to serve him in all that we do. When he pulls you out of that situation you in, go to work. That evening after sunset, the people brought to Jesus all the sick and demon possessed. They brought in the sick and demons, and the whole town gathered at the door. And Jesus healed many who had various diseases. Jesus was at work, and he was doing good works, compassionate and loving work for his people. But here's the part that I like. He drove out many demons. He drove out many demons, and he already showed us he could do it. But Jesus was so powerful that he would not even let the demons speak. They couldn't speak. As much as they probably wanted to go against what he was saying and do what they wanted to do, they couldn't even speak because they knew who he was. And Jesus was not letting them tell them who he was at this time. So when you look at this, you get to see Jesus' healing of power, his love for us, his compassion for us, his mercy and grace. And then you get to see his spiritual power where he just tells demons, get up and shut up. Don't say a word. Jesus is awesome. Amen.